That's it.
Hey, listen up. You know, what a great opportunity we have once again to be able to be the example for where we come from and what we stand for. Although tonight is a game and the scoreboard for society and for the world determines the win. But you know, for us, that doesn't matter because we already won before we got here. We've been winning for the last 3 or 4 months. For some of you seniors, we've been winning for 4 years. So, you know, the win that we represent doesn't matter. But tonight is an opportunity that you have to deal with the scoreboard. You know, which it really doesn't matter because it doesn't define who we are, where we're going, or what is the plan. But you have an opportunity to show where you come from and represent your community, your school, and the people that's looking at you that want to be like you, and that's the other younger kids in our community. You know, football, like I tell you all the time, sometimes it gets in the way of the purpose. And the purpose is always you and your success. You know, we have been with you for the last 12 weeks. You know, this is week 12. So, you know, we just trying to move forward. All we concerned is today and tonight. You understand? And just like I tell you all the time, you know, we got a lot of haters. But your haters become your elevator. You understand? So we don't care about no hater. You understand? We sold 80 tickets this time. We sold 40 last time. That's our community. What a great community. But like we always talk about, it's just us, and it's all right. You understand? We can be that example, and we can be that trailblazer that will show the world that we're a great group of young men, and that we represent our community, and we represent our mothers, our fathers, and all the people that's in our corner, in our families. We're one family, and we got to have one heartbeat. And tonight we'll be able to prove that, and that's a great opportunity. Yes, let's go now. Let's go.
For us, brotherhood's everything. The game of football is an avenue to teach boys how to become men. The season is a journey. It's a step-by-step progression. The work starts now. You can do whatever you want to do. You can be whatever you want to be. Talent's going to take you so far, but effort's going to put you over the top.
Welcome to the land, Cleveland, Ohio, home of the Glenville Tarblooders, where we interviewed Coach Ginn Sr. as they take on Midview tonight, round 2, Ohio High School State Playoffs. Welcome to Gridirons TV. Talk a little bit about the kids you coach. I mean, obviously we've heard of your son, we've heard of Cardell Jones, we've heard of Dante Whitner, who have all played for you. Was there anything different about them than every other kid you've coached, and that's the reason why they're in the NFL, or was it purely talent alone, or did they have something a little bit extra within them that maybe not everybody has?
Well, it's a mixture of all of that. You know, I think that every kid in the world has greatness. I think that's our job as adults and educators and parents to make sure that we engage with our kids and find out what their dreams and goals are. And if they don't have dreams or goals, then we have to give it to them. That's education to me. That's what's missing in today's society. I think that every kid are born good in the world. I think what happens is that we don't teach them to get past average and find the greatness that lies within them that God gave them. And that's everybody in the world. And I think that when we settle into, this is how I'm going to coach football, this is how I'm going to educate, and then we don't give kids individual life plan, that's where the problem comes in. How do you judge a kid? So, well, this all you gonna do, this all you can become. No, that's not right, because it's a gift inside that kid that God gives them. And that's everybody. And we don't do it because we make it shallow, because we only think so far from what we see. But it's something deep inside of the kid, it's greatness.
How do you bring that above average performance or future in a kid that maybe isn't really receptive to you right away? Maybe he's not open. I'm sure some kids you coach are going to be open, they're going to be coachable. Some are just not going to listen to you. How do you approach that kid and have an effect on that kid?
You continue to drive and fight for that kid's life while you have them in your presence. And and it might be just one day it popped, and it might be you might not have to do as much with certain kids, but you never stop. You have to have high expectation for kids. You have to have high expectation for people. I don't care what your strengths and weaknesses are. If you got a strong point, let's enhance it. If you got weakness, we have to enhance that too. So you have to continue to engage and continue to every opportunity you have to deal with them. You got to deal with them. And I just think that everybody in this world has greatness. But if you, as the guy that's doing it, get tired, that kid's not gonna be nothing. You get tired, you just give up. That's bad, because you have to remember, being a coach, being a parent, being an educator, and you engaging with kids is a dangerous business, because they're God's kids. And he put us on this earth to do that. That's everybody in the world. And when you talk about you get tired and you quit, that's dangerous. Because God depends on you to do something with his children. That's why that's the word. So.
Assistants have an effect on the kids as well. When you have a new assistant, like I met some of your assistants outside, and they all a few of them went to Glenville, and so they coached under you, so I'm sure they understand where you're coming from. If you have a new assistant that hasn't been a part of the program or doesn't know your philosophy, are you sort of setting the stage with how they should approach your kids, or are you sort of letting them coach and then maybe saying, well, you may want to talk to this kid a little bit differently or coach this way?
No, I don't let nobody come in and coach my kid like they want to. It's the philosophy here. You have to engage with the kid according to our belief here. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not gonna ask you about what you know about X's and O's. I'm gonna ask you what's in your heart for young people. Yes, that's how I hire coaches. You can bring me a resume. You can bring me all the philosophies you want. We got a philosophy here. A lot of times that's where the disagreement come in coaching, because a lot of times when you say, well, I'm gonna hire you as my D coordinator, okay, but when you come here, I got my own, I run a 4-3, and this is how we do it. I just need you to coordinate it. I don't need you to tell me how to run it. But I think we should run a 3-3 stack. We don't run that here. You understand? If you go talk to Belichick, you're going to run Belichick's defense. I don't care who you are as the coordinator. And you're going to have his philosophy. Same thing go here. You're going to have You know, I'm not going to discredit you on your knowledge of football. I'm going to discredit you on your knowledge of what you got in your heart for a kid.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people can't handle that. So they'll call you, it's no discipline here or this or that or that, whatever you might think. You understand? Because I believe every kid in the world have to have an individual like plan. So you got to be able to engage. Every kid needs something different. You can't look at me and tell me how I discipline a kid, because your discipline is gonna be different than the next guy's discipline. Both of y'all can do the same thing, but I might discipline y'all differently, depending on who you are. But how do I know who you are if I don't get to know you?
How do you deal with a player that's undisciplined within a game that could potentially cause an unsportsmanlike conduct or cause any concern for the team? How do you address that?
Well, I address that kid individual, but I guarantee you, I already know from before he do it that he's capable of doing it. So, you know, it's not no surprise, you know, because you got to know the kid before you have a player. Just like you got to know the kid before you have a student. You understand? And that's where people don't want to engage with them. They just want to know the player. No, you don't know the player. You got to know the kid first before you have a player. And so I'm already know it all depends. It all depends on the individual kid, how I handle that. He might be a kid that I need to step out for a play. Might be a kid that he need to sit down for the rest of the day. All depends. But I guarantee you, I probably won't discipline them all the same.
So those are two key things. So the no respect, no accountability. I think that's, as a coach myself, that's a common thing that we're hearing nowadays. Do you think that it's no respect, no accountability, or do you think that's just the circumstances that the kids are dealt and the world in which we live in? How do you approach that?
That's not the real world. You know, I deal with that every day. You know, you got to be accountable for things that you're supposed to do. Where do you get the nerve to be disrespectful? But I know where you get it from, because nobody taught you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you hit it right there.
You know?
Yeah.
I already know that. So no, I'm not gonna freak out and go crazy because the kid is there. I got to teach him that that's wrong. And once you leave here, when you get out in the world gonna hand it back to you.
That's where
they got a place for disrespect. They got a place for I don't know. They got a place for no accountability. You understand? They got a place for that. And then people gonna make money off of you with that. You can't get caught up in the game. And that's what it is. Life is a game. And they know they got it all set. So you have to show a kid, if you steal something, you're going to jail. Somebody gonna make money. If you get out here and think you tough, somebody gonna kill you and you get a place to bury you. Somebody gonna make money. Where do you want, where you gonna make your money? How you gonna live? You understand? Act crazy. They got a crazy house. They gonna make money. See, that's how I deal with kids. I show them everything that they do and where it relates to how the world works and how people gonna make money. That's how it goes. Congratulations, man. Sunday I got a party, baby.
So looking forward, how long do you think you're going to coach? This is forever for you?
I'm 60, bro.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah.
I'm not going to rust out. I'm just going to give out. I'm doing what I want to do. Hey, what is it? Just because I'm old and gray don't constitute me to retire. You know, because I have a plan, you know, and I have things that I have to do according to God, you know. I'm just a struggling servant in the game of football. You know, trying to tell every generation how great God is.
Well, I think, you know, I can speak for the viewers in saying that you have had a profound effect on your kids, and just spending a little bit of time with you. You know, you're a really good guy and a good coach, and I really appreciate your time.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
We always got on three. 1, 2, 3.